Looks like we're going to have a snowstorm here in probably about 48-50 hours. It's looking like some pretty good chances. So I am going to go ahead and get our trailer to town, so we will have fuel to fuel up our skidder on the Walmart lot. So that's one of our accounts. We got 2 Walmarts and a Sam's. So yep, there's our trailer, and there's our transfer tank that we have on there with a battery hooked to it. Makes it for good, easy transferring of fuel. So gonna just get some things done here today while the sun's shining, and get ready for the snowstorm that's going to be coming on Monday or Sunday night into Monday. They still are kind of fuzzy because here we're in central Illinois, so we always get that mixture. We could end up getting some sleet, freezing rain, and then snow, and then change over all to snow, which I know the northern states sometimes go through that too, but it's always don't ever know what exact amounts we're going to get. So it's always like a guessing game, even during the storms. So that's what we're doing today. Just dropped off the trailer here at Walmart, right next to some shipping containers full of Christmas goodies for our shoppers. I couldn't get it next to the other equipment that's already staged because we ran out of room on the other side of those shipping containers. Got the diesel in the tank, and we are all ready to roll. Normally, during the season, we're able to park everything down here in this corner, which normally I don't have that 99 Chevy down here. It's actually over at the other Walmart on the other side of town, because the accounts it does is on that side of town. But after it got fixed at the mechanic, which is only a couple miles from here, Vanderland, it was just easier to put it here. And then on the last storm, on the 11th of November, whenever my driver picked it up, he parked his vehicle here, and so it was just easier for him to return it here, and we just haven't had any time to move it over to the other side of town. So there's our 2005 GMC, the Duramax in it, and that's our 2004 Chevy 3500, the Duramax in it. It's also got a 9-foot Arctic on there, the pusher wings. She's ready to rumble. We also run Salt Dogs with a 075 on that. That way we got room in the bed for bag salt for sidewalks, snow blowers, shovels, other things. And there's our 17 with a 9-foot Arctic on it, and pusher wings. And I know this GMC here is a 3/4 ton. We got this 7.6 on there, but this truck did banks with drive-through lanes for the last 4 years, and we did not renew that account, and so this was what was on it when it was parked for the season. But now I'm thinking about it. I got an extra 8-footer. Thinking about getting an 8-footer and putting some buyer's wings on it, and getting that thing all the way close to 10 foot. So contemplating that. And then there's our Salt Dog 1500, SHPE 1500. And then we have, I know, on a dually, a 075, but that was because of my toolbox setup and the transfer tank. So kind of adapt to what we need to use the truck for, what we need to utilize it for. So the biggest thing whenever you are doing snow removal on a 24-hour plaza, such as this one, is the timing of the snow and working as a team. As you can see here, we have done most of the hogging down to the end during the storm. Now we are working as a team, moving the snow from the parking sections that many cars were parked on earlier. This snowfall happened to fall at 4 p.m. It started at 4 p.m. on a Sunday and lasted till 12 a.m. So in that process of a Sunday shopping, especially this store having both merchandise and grocery, it's a Walmart, a lot of parking spots are taking up while we're there. We also cannot do this account like a lot of accounts to where we can wait for the 4 to 5 inches to fall and then show up that night later on and plow it. They require us to be there once an inch hits and to keep the lanes clear for the customers to get in and out of the store. This is not a problem. It just causes a lot of headache because you're trying to be careful on getting actual work done while you're trying to not impede the customers from going in and out of the store and also keep them safe. As you can see, I have just moved that snow into the lane, and my partner here, Jeremy, in the other truck is taking it down to the end. As I showed you earlier in this video, we have trucks that don't have regular blades on them. They actually have pusher blades on them. So that enables us to contain the snow a lot better and to have a lot less trails, and also gather more snow to get down towards the end. When I first started doing these Walmarts, we did not have box blades, but that story is for another day. Right now, our skid steer, while we are working up front on the store, is around back, doing the whole back of the store and the side of the store over by Tire and Lube Express, where we stage our equipment. The reason we send our skid steer back there is because it has a retention pond and guardrails all along the sides. So in order to keep from snow melting and refreezing in the back there, we actually throw all the snow over the guardrail with the skid steer. It is the best piece of equipment for that application in the back. As you can see here, I'm working in a tight area between a cart corral and a light pole. I do not know why I just didn't push the cart corral by hand over and not have to get in there, but I think I wanted to be cute for the video. There's Jeremy working over there, getting in between some cars, getting it out to the lane. So this is our progress on doing this lot, is you basically get all your lanes cleared and then you push snow out to the lanes again from the parking spots and then take that snow down to the end. There's lots and lots of obstacles on this particular lot. We have 18 cart corrals, and as you can see, there's the new pickup signs there on the left, and as I'm turning around here, you can see all these cart corrals, and they have a trash can with each one of them. Light poles, handicap parking signs, lane signs, lots and lots of stuff. So, as we are working together here, you can see that it is tight in between these new signs. Very tight. They just added these. That's for the store pickup area. Very popular. It's here to stay, and we're just going to have to work around these signs. So there we go. If you guys have any questions on how we do these lots, Please comment below. Please subscribe. We will have other videos. We do snow removal in the winter, and we also install pools in the summer and do concrete work. Now my brother, once he is done around back in the skid steer, he will come up front and he will clear off the walks. Now, a lot of people say from their videos that you clear off the walks first, and I totally agree with that. Get it out in the lane and get it down to the end. But our timing on our snow dictates exactly what we're going to do with the skid steer. For instance, on this snow, it happened at 4 p.m. and went through the whole evening on a Sunday, December 15th. So it's the second to the last weekend before Christmas. So the store was extremely busy, even though we had snow. It wasn't a big blowing snow. It was just a nice steady snow. So people still were coming in and out. We ended up getting 4 to 5 inches. So in order to safely have the skid steer not run into something, because a lot of people, the approach is off to my right as I'm sitting in that truck, and people just blaze in this place. Just, I guess I'm going to make Star Wars noises. I don't know. But they blaze into this place and tend to disregard anybody working or try to dart behind somebody. And in a skid steer or any of these trucks, we have blind spots. So what we do is when it's at this time of night, we end up waiting to the end after we've actually mainly had the front lane clear, and then take the snow back down there. Okay. I guess another comment will probably be, well, why don't you have a guy up there with maybe a snowblower or a shovel so he just stays on the walk, or like a snow raider? Well, it's all about economics. We're in Central Illinois. I consider it a win-win if we get 3 pushes a year. I mean, we get more than that a lot of times, but I've seen a lot of skinny winters, and I've been in it 21 years where we only get 3 pushes, and I think we've had probably about 8 of those winters in 21 years. Actually, 2 winters was less than 3. I think it was only 1 or 2. So, and that's on a 2-inch trigger for all our other accounts and a 1-inch trigger here. So we do a lot of salting on disturbances, but this particular area, climate-wise, is just not, we average 14 to 20 inches of snow a year. That's also the reason I don't have a bunch of big tractors on the lot. Plus, our Walmarts here locally are just extremely busy. So we do both Walmarts here in the town, and they are just cram-packed, full of people all the way up. We still have them coming in between 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So just a very popular place to shop here locally, and we don't mind it. We just work with it and try to get the job done in the best manner possible. And since I have to have a truck for the pool and concrete business in order to bring equipment to the job site or materials and stuff, then we just decided to go with these Arctic pushers. They really aren't a pusher. They're a trip edge blade with box ends on the side. They're basically a wing package that you can put on them. So any plow out there, if you ended up wanting to just buy Arctic wings and you had a trip edge plow, it has to be a trip edge plow, you could add this kit over to your plow with just some simple drilling and bolting on of brackets. So that's the main gist of what we do here on this snow removal end. It's now let's talk about, let's say if that snow came in at 10 at night and ended at 2 in the morning. Then what I would do is that now we've got the clock on, the clock starts, and we're going to start having traffic and real customers by about 6 a.m., you know, start getting a flow of traffic in. So what I would do there is my brother would move up front with the skid steer first. He would do the walks first, and then he would move around back to make sure he gets the whole back cleared before they open. Or not open, for 24 hours. Before we start getting deliveries around back. So it's all about the timing of the snow, you know, and what you can do. Another move that we make is like, as you see, is I'm going out from those snow piles to beyond those snow piles away from me. There's a curb and a lane that runs on the back of Walmart. Well, whenever it's kind of busy up front, we have one truck working the drive lanes and dealing with the traffic, while another truck is in the back pushing in between those piles and pushing that snow from the curb back towards the store, because we cannot stack any snow on the back side of that curb. So also the parameters of your particular 24-hour store will also affect how you end up plowing it. Once we have, one of the things that I want to stress on a big lot such as this is that you cannot look at the lot as a whole. You have to look at the lot in sections. So while the snow's coming down, since we have a 1-inch trigger and we need to be there to clear the lanes, that's pretty easy. You just lane after lane after lane after lane after lane, okay? Maybe on the particular snow, if it's one that keeps on melting, trying to refreeze, you might throw some salt down the front lanes, try to keep that worked up while you're also peeling up. So, but what the big thing is that once you get done, you need to work the lot in a meticulous pattern. And like what I like to do is imagine the lot like a big dry erase board. You start from, and you took the dry erase board and you filled it full of marker. You made it all black, and then you take an eraser and you start erasing. And you start from one side and work all the way over to the other side. So you either go from left to right or right to left. Something that you do not ever want to do is push snow towards the building or leave snow up against the building. That's what my brother's doing now, is getting all that snow out of those cubby holes where they're going to end up stacking the carts. I had previously already cleared the area where the carts were with my truck so they could get the carts in there. So, you know, we work with the guys bringing the carts in order to get that area of carts put in there before the skidder comes around. So we work with, and the cart guys on this particular snowfall did fabulous. So I think there was only 3 carts out there, and they came after the guys left. So that was awesome. They did an awesome job. As you can see here, I grab the snow from the skid steer, it puts it out in the front lane, and I take it all the way down to the designated snow area. That's another thing that you need to talk about whenever you're doing a big lot like this, is what they call the designated snow area. It's the area where you're going to end up stacking the snow. Now we're bringing it down, and it is, as we're bringing it down, that pile's getting really big, and it's working its way out of the parking spots. So at the very end of the storm, we end up having the skid steer go over there, and we end up restacking it up, okay, and getting it tidied up to where it stays inside those parking spaces where it's all striped and outside the driving lanes. So, and gets it a little bit higher and less bloated out, as you could say. So once we have the lot worked from left to right, then we'll end up having a guy come in with salt, and he will end up salting right behind us with one of our trucks with our V-Box spreader in it. We use the Salt Dog V-Box spreaders. We've got an SHPE 1500 and an SHPE 075. 1500 can hold 1.5 cubic yards, which is equivalent to 3,000 pounds. The .075 can hold 3/4 of a cubic yard, which is equivalent to about 1,500 pounds. The .075s I got because I wanted to end up having a V-Box on some trucks, but also be able to have some bed space in order to have, like on my old dually, my 04 that you see cutting around here, be able to have room for the toolbox and the transfer tank. On the 99 Chevy regular cab long bed, we ended up using one of those because we wanted to have an area for a snowblower, shovels, and I like to use bag salt whenever we're salting sidewalks after we clear them. It ends up working a little bit faster because it's we use actually solar salt because it's a little bit grainier and ends up melting faster, but it keeps you from having to carry around that bigger rock salt. And the bags, we buy the 40-pound bags that got a handle on them, so you just kind of cut the bag and you can kind of hold the handle and spread it by hand. So it works out real nice. So I am going to, I think that's everything I wanted to touch bases on this plowing a 24-hour store. The main thing is being careful and keeping everybody safe, the customers going in, everybody in the machinery, everybody in the trucks. I know I would love everybody to comment, subscribe please. I'm going to have tons of other videos coming through the pipeline. I've got a year's worth of footage, and I'm starting to get familiar with this editing process. So I'm going to start cranking out some videos here, and we're going to end up having a video on how to stamp and color concrete. We're going to have another video about pool installation, a more in-depth video on other snow removal related things. We're also in the middle of taking one of these Arctic snow plows, and I picked it up. It was a 7-foot 6-inch, and we're going to end up putting a skid steer mount on it and turning it into a box blade for our skid steer. So he will end up having not only a snow bucket, but he will also have a pusher for the front of the skid steer. So that angle. So we look forward to that too. So stay tuned and go ahead and write your story today.